want money.
Good morning. Hope that everyone is still hanging in there. It's been a bit of a long haul. Something interesting came to my attention today. The CRA has been putting in place some legislation around disability tax credits. Now, disability tax credit is a form that you can fill out if you have an impairment or a disability that your doctor considers prolonged and life impacting. And what happens is they fill out the forms and you can apply for a credit that you can use during tax season as a tax credit to get a refund. What's happening is there are a significant number of Canadian firms that are assisting people in completing these forms for a percentage of kickback. So some of these firms are charging 15 to 40% of whatever the client is getting back. And in a number of cases, this is for a number of years retroactive. So a lot of clients are getting a significant amount of money. An example that they've utilized is that a firm in Alberta charged 35% of the refunded amount for a disability tax credit that was applied for a child of a family. So the disability tax credit application was completed. It was sent in by this firm, and the firm did some advisory services. And I'm not saying that it's not important to deal with somebody that is very knowledgeable in this subject area, but the government is now saying that when you're charging 35% of a tax refund for people that are trying to get money for disability purposes, that shouldn't be allowed. So what they've done for the last 6 years is tried to put legislation in place to cap how much the fees can be for assistance in preparing the 2201 forms and giving advice on disabilities. And that was supposed to go through about this time this year. But because of COVID-19, the team that's putting through that legislation and building out the documentation and the tax interpretation bulletins and everything around that has been put on hold. So because of COVID-19, we're impacted in another way. And so what's happening is some of these firms are still going out and saying to people, if you're having financial struggles and you have a child with ADHD or a wife that has debilitating migraines, or maybe you didn't realize that blindness in one eye that's impacting your life that you can qualify to fill out these forms to get this large tax refund, because you can go retroactive for several years, and it is a significant refund that the person helping you to navigate through this can still take large amounts of money, a large portion for doing that. So the government is still pushing through this Disabilities Act, stating that you no longer can take large amounts. It's just not done now. And they're saying that they don't know, because of COVID-19, when that's going to go through. So we could still see these types of things happening over the next year or two. It has been in the works for 6 years, which is a significant amount of time. And the unfortunate thing is that although it's important to have advisory services, it's important to make sure that those forms are completed appropriately so that you can get the appropriate tax refund that you qualify for. It's not necessary for some of these firms to be charging such large amounts of money to fill out that paperwork or give advisory services. Now, that being said, there are still some firms that will only do those advisory services and form completion and assistance with the administration portion at an hourly rate, which is much more reasonable, because we don't want anyone taking advantage of these people that need the disability funds. So just so that you know, there are some changes coming down the pipeline for caps on fees for accounting firms and legal firms that are assisting with this. If you need more information about the disability tax credit, if you suspect that you can qualify for something like that, it is important to have a consultation appointment with somebody, sit down and have a discussion. There are many families that are impacted by many different mental illnesses, disabilities, impairments, and don't even realize that they can qualify for this tax credit. So it is important to have that discussion with somebody. Just be careful who you talk to. I'm Crystal Lucier with Preferred Tax Solutions, and this is TV7.ca.
I want money.